Welcome to Masters of Max, a mobile app experience podcast. Please welcome your host, Tom Buda, Chief Strategy and Marketing Officer at Airship.
Welcome to another episode of Masters of Max. Today it's my pleasure to bring you Jessy Trengove, all the way, believe it or not, from New Zealand. So welcome, Jessy.
Hi, Tom. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Jessy is the head of product and insights at a really interesting new company called Vampr.
Yeah, so Vampr is predominantly a mobile app that facilitates networking between creatives. So in particular, our niche is musicians, but it facilitates a lot of connections between musicians. So if you're looking for a collaborator or a drummer for your band, but also it helps you find a producer, an engineer, and even other people that might round out your team as a musician. So
that's fantastic. And so you're interesting. You're talking about, you use the word network. It's a network, and then you use the word connections. Is that actually how you find new people? Is it something that just keeps growing from within, as it were?
The more people on the platform, the more value that everyone on the platform gets as an individual. So, originally it was more of a closed network where it was one-to-one. You connect with someone, you have a conversation with them, maybe you collaborate. But, over the last couple of years, we've tried to really open that up. So it's more of a social network with some, likes and comments and kind of social features like that. Sort
of mixing and matching and probably continuous improvement. You must make some big moves occasionally, right? It could be, I'm just guessing, but it could be, I don't know, creating a brand new experience as an example, a new capability. How do you go about doing that and introducing that to your current base?
Yeah, so a few different ways. We do a lot of surveys. I think actually it's kind of like a ramp up. So if you're trying to research a new area, or perhaps you're trying to find out if a potential idea could work, I think open conversations one-on-one with users is the best way to start, because there's no substitute for the kind of insights that you can get from actually talking one-on-one with someone in real time. Then once you start to get an idea of like directionally where it's going, you can synthesize that into like a survey, with standard questions, and then you can roll that out to more people to get critical mass behind some of these assumptions and real numbers. So actually we use Airship to do that a lot of the time, where we kind of have an in-app banner, and then we link them off to a survey to ask a few questions.
Well, in the software industry, they would call this sort of like, you have like a full stack capability, right? And probably the more and more things you add, the stickier and more, quote, valuable, right, you become to your customers.
I mean, you really have to commit to delivering value on an ongoing basis. And that sounds obvious, but I think some people probably shoehorn a subscription model in sometimes where it doesn't naturally fit. So like with Vampr Academy, we need to commit to creating courses and creating exclusive content on an ongoing basis that's top quality, because if we're going to keep charging you for this subscription, then you need new content to consume all the time. So that's a big commitment to make. But if your product lends itself to being able to provide that ongoing value, then that's half the battle. That's how I feel. So then once you've got that, it's about experimentation. So when do you show the paywall? What does it look like? To whom? In what moment? All those things. There are infinite amount of variables there that you can kind of tweak, provided that it's the right business model for you in the first place.
How much time do you give it, like in terms of testing a new plan?
It depends. I think in this case, if you're testing a subscription model, you need to give it a while. You need to give it several months. You need to be learning right off the bat. Like as soon as you launch it, you need to be kind of learning and iterating. But how long do you give it until you kind of decide, yes, it's working, or no, it's not? I don't think there's any kind of one answer. It's just about learning as you go and then making that call. But at least a couple of months, I'd say. if the subscription is a month long, minimum, then you've got to give people a couple of months to to see if they retain minimum.
Well, it's been a fantastic opportunity, Jessy. Thank you so much for your time, and best of luck at continuing the great work you're doing at Vampr.
Thanks, Tom. Thanks for having me. It was great.